I feel very proud and I can finally breathe again. That's
Yes,
how I want to
yeah,
say it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work, but as of today, everything's done. It's available, it's on the market.
Welcome on the Crochet Podcast, the podcast to learn everything about your favorite crochet artist. Today I'm so happy to welcome again Jade from Jade on the podcast. And this time we will talk all about her book, the whole process and everything she learned from this experience. Let's meet again, Jade. Hello, Jade. Thank you so much for being again in the Crochet Podcast. I can't believe it's been 9 months since the first episode.
Yes, already. Thank you
Already,
for
it
having
went
me
so
again.
fast. Yes, I'm so excited. A lot of things happened for you in the last 9 months, so I'm so excited to talk about it. But can you first reintroduce yourself for people that didn't watch the first episode, maybe?
Sure. And then they can go watch the first one.
You should watch it though.
So I'm Jade. I'm from Quebec. I've been a pattern designer for almost 6 years now, so 5 years and a half. Yeah, that's about it. So I design amigurumi patterns, and I think we're gonna talk about something very excited that just released a few weeks ago. My book.
And also on social media, your username is all from Jade. I think it's important we say it.
Yes, all from Jade. It is me.
Yes. So thank you so much, as I say, to be here again on the podcast. Today we are not here to talk like about a general thing. We are here to talk about something very specific, which is a huge milestone for you. We talked about it 9 months ago. You say, oh, it will be a goal for you to write a book. And 9 months after, I just received a copy of your book.
Yay! So to be completely transparent, when we recorded that first podcast, we talked about that off cam afterwards, but it was already in the... So it's not...
It was a little secret.
Yes, exactly. So it was already happening. So a book didn't happen in 9 months. It's not like a pregnancy.
It's not like a baby. It takes a little bit more time, right?
It's like 2.5 babies.
Yes, and we will talk about this whole like timeline a little bit better, because I think it's so interesting to talk about, because we always see the final book, but I think we don't realize how much work it is. So I'm very excited to talk about the timeline. First of all, how do you feel about this project coming to light? How do you feel after, because you announced it on your social media and everything, so how do you feel after everything?
So as of today, I feel very proud and I can finally breathe again.
Yes,
that's how I want to say it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work, but as of today, everything's done. It's available, it's on the market. So my job is done, and I'm seeing some reviews now. So that's a big relief for me as well, because a book, you cannot change it. If there's a mistake or if there's something, you cannot change it overnight, like in a PDF or something like that. Yeah, so right now I can finally breathe, basically.
Yes, yeah, because that's true. Like the first step is to put it out there, but then you have to wait for the review. I didn't think about that, but that's another step you have to achieve. So congratulations about everything, about the quality of your book. I read it, and honestly, I've learned so many things because you explained so many techniques. You took time to make little videos, which I think it's amazing. Like you have a QR code people can scan. It's just so much work. So congratulations. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you. So yeah, it was a lot of work. And also, since it's something that I cannot share before, like, I don't know, 3 months before the release.
Yes.
It's hard for a designer to not have feedback, like other than from my husband and like the people I'm working with. So when you release a pattern, usually you reveal it a few weeks or days before, and then you have a feedback from the crowd, from everyone from the community, and then you can have an idea if people enjoy it, if I don't know, if you can improve something.
If they like the design.
But for a book, like for me it's great,
totally
but I don't
blind.
know until people have it in their hands if they're gonna like it also, and that's important.
Yes, and you cannot talk about it at all. You really have to wait a specific date. So it must be also a little bit stressful even when you put it out there. So when you decide to announce it for pre-orders, right? A little bit before it came out officially.
Yes, I think it was in February of this year, so 2024. And at that time, I was in Punta Cana on a vacation with my family, and I just got an email saying that I could share the news, and I was like, no,
in the middle of it.
And I didn't want to like do a story just to say, hey, I have a book. I wanted to do something special. Yes. So I waited and then
I remember it was a cute little reel and stuff, so you still had to organize the video and stuff.
Yes, I didn't want to rush it. I wanted to take the time to announce it the way I wanted, because it's a lot of work and I didn't want to just say, hey, I have a book. So I wanted to make something special. So yes, I did a little reel in stop motion with all the little friends in the book. And I tried to do something special. And at that time, it was also very special because I had to announce a book that I didn't even have in my hands at that point.
Yeah, you could not just show it to people like, hey.
So what I did, I actually took another book that was pretty much the same format, and I printed the cover page and I taped it to the front of that other book, so at least it looked a little bit like if I had a book, but at that point I didn't even saw the book.
Well, the most important is the result, the behind the scene is something else.
You have to make it work.
We will talk about the promotion and everything after, because I think it's also a big point of releasing a book, is just not writing the book. But first of all, you told me it was one of your main goals for your business. How did it happen? How did everything start? Did you contact publishing companies or did they contact you?
So that's actually funny, because yes, it was one of my goals, but to be honest, I didn't reach out to anyone to make that goal happen. I feel like I was probably scared of being I just watched Amy's podcast with you last night.
You still have to have a plan and everything.
Yes,
contact.
And I'm so proud of her, because she reached out to a few different publishers.
She went for it.
I didn't do that because I think I was too scared of seeing that no, or it's not gonna work. So it was just in the back of my mind this whole time. And then I just received a message from a publisher saying that they wanted a book with my style of patterns, that they saw me on Instagram and Etsy, and they were really impressed and all that jazz. So I was...
That's how we started.
Yes, I was really excited. I was like, oh my god, do you think it's a scam? I said to my husband.
Yeah.
But then I checked their website and it was legit. So I was like, oh.
So when was that?
That was October 2022.
Wow.
So almost 2 years ago.
Wow. And then what happened? You said yes, or did you ask for more detail, or you said yes right away?
No, I didn't. Well, I said I was interested, and the next step was to have a video chat with Michelle, who was the person that reached out to me. So I had that video chat with her maybe a few days after, and we just discussed. She told me what they liked about my style, and we just brainstormed some ideas, because at that point I didn't have any
Okay.
like proposal or anything. I didn't know.
Oh, so you didn't know the main, because it's little animals, right? That you made. You didn't have this main idea yet, right?
Well, on my side, I knew that I wanted to be animals because that's mostly what I do.
Yeah.
But I was thinking at this point, we were talking a lot about no-sew patterns and mama patterns. So this is what I'm most known for.
Yes.
But a few weeks after, we decided to switch it, because one thing is no-sew patterns. I feel like I had to restrain myself from making some designs because it had to be
Yes.
no-sew. Because if you want to put it on the cover,
Yeah, it's
it really has to be no-sew. And a lot of
yeah.
design, you need to sew a little something, or just to,
At least a little.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't want like to have a book and not be happy about all the designs. So I told her that I was not feeling 100% for no-sew patterns. I was like, maybe we could include some, but I don't think I can make a book of no-sew patterns that I would be happy
Yes.
about.
It's important to know before.
And then the second thing is that it had to be exclusive patterns to the book, or I could include like one existing patterns, which I did. And I have a lot of mama patterns right now, and those are my most popular. So I was like, if it's patterns for the book only, then I cannot sell those patterns, and I know that people may want to just buy them individually. So that's why I didn't go the
It
mama
was a
patterns route.
reflection. Yeah. So it took you 2 weeks, like, to really think about what you really wanted
Yes,
to do.
because that video
That's
chat
good. You took
ended.
that time.
And we ended the discussion just saying, "Let's talk. Let's think about it, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll see." So at that point, we were just really in the beginning of creating that book. Yeah, but just so you know the little, yeah, everything, that how it started and what was the maybe original plan, and then how it changed.
Yeah. I think it's very good to have a good communication with your publishing company so you can actually enjoy making the book, because as you say, like, no sew can be very restricting and you can end up not have that much fun, I feel. So that's good. You set your what you wanted to
Yes,
do.
and also I wanted to make sure that with them I could really have a word, like have something. If I didn't like something about the book, I wanted to be able to say something. And basically in the contract it says like, if I'm not happy with something, we're gonna make it work until
Wow.
I'm happy with it. So that was a main, like, that was really important for me to be able to.
Yes, so you don't feel you are just working for them, creating whatever.
Because after that,
Yeah,
it's my
you
name.
still the artist.
It's
Yes,
my name on
yes.
that book. So if I don't like it, I
That's
don't
true.
want my name on it.
Yeah, you have to be proud of your creations, and he has to. I feel like he has to look like what you like to do. You know, if not, we will be like, wait, why? You know, like, he has to look like you, I will say.
Yes, look like what I create, look like my brand, I want to say. I don't know if I have a brand, but look like what
Yeah,
I
you
would
do.
create
You do.
myself. Yes, because when you write a book, basically, and that was new for me too, but basically what you send them, it's Word documents, so it's just text, like with the patterns, and then pictures, either step pictures or like cute pictures with the animals. So you really don't design anything. So that was hard for me as well, because I was like, I really want to enjoy what I'm seeing, even if it's not me doing it, and it's someone somewhere else in the world that I cannot like meet in person. They were in the U.S. So it was, and also my first language is French, so it was hard for me sometimes to explain what I was seeing in my head, like explain into words. That was something really new for me, because when you work on your own,
Yeah, you are no use.
you know what you want, you know how you want it to look like. But when you work with a team, it's really hard to explain sometimes And you
Yeah.
don't want to.
So you had to learn how to communicate
You don't want to
and
be.
manage a little bit.
I didn't want to
Mm.
like make them feel bad about like a choice they would made, but I was like, yeah, but it's not working. That's not.
Yeah.
No, we have to change
And you are
something.
still the expert. Like I feel you know what works or
And then
not. And you know your audience too, like I feel it's important, like when you write a pattern, if they will understand or they will not understand that.
Another challenge when writing a book is the number of pages that you can include in a book. It's pretty
Oh.
like there's a number.
Oh yeah, you cannot make an encyclopedia of.
And like when I write a PDF pattern, I'm not thinking about the number of pages.
Yeah.
I'm just writing as much info as I can and including as much pictures as I could.
Pictures.
But then for the book, you have to really keep what's really important, what will make the reader understands. So that was another challenge for sure, because I know that my patterns
Is that
sometimes.
why you included videos in the
Yeah, so that was an idea from them, I believe. I saw this in another book, like QR codes, and I was really happy about that because in my actual pattern I include videos.
Cool.
So I think sometimes when you don't have room for like 10 pictures, you can at least have a video that you can scan. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a big help for a lot of people can visualize better with video. So I think seeing that in a book was the first time, and I thought that was such a good idea. I was like, oh, this is so technological.
The only issue with that is that I had to keep the videos silent, so there's no like voiceover, because we want to translate the book in different languages and still keep those videos. Same for the pictures. I cannot include like instructions on the pictures.
Like a little arrow or stuff.
Arrow, yes, because that could work in different languages, but like words.
Oh, okay. Oh yes, the text.
So same for the video. So unfortunately, I couldn't include like voiceovers, but at least you can see in.
Yes, I think it's already a huge help. That was a good idea. So after you came out with the main theme of the book, what did you start working right away and like, okay, let's do it. Let's
I wish I could say yes, but no, because so basically how it works is that when you're all happy with what the book is going to be about, you receive a contract, then you sign it, and then you can start it.
Oh, okay.
So that was done.
Okay. Nothing was signed before.
So that was done in January, I believe. So 2 years ago. No, yeah, a year and a few months ago. And then the thing is that when you're writing a book and you don't want people to like think that you're going missing.
Yes, oh my god, yes.
Because basically I could have worked on that book full time and like not doing anything else, and it would have been.
But we all know. Yes.
So I didn't start right away because I had 3 deadlines to like submit work, so they can start working on their own and then send me, and then we can go back and forth like this. So I basically always waited the week before the deadlines to work like crazy on the book.
Okay. Well, that's a way to work it out.
It ended up working. I think I pushed one deadline for a few days because I was like, it's not. Or I changed, like, let's say I had to send 5 patterns and I had 4 ready, so I sent 4. In the end, it all worked out. But if I were to make another book one day, I would really push myself to do like a little bit like Amy said, one per week, and but I couldn't because.
But it's really challenging because you still have your own business on the side and you have to feed that business. Because we all know with social media, you cannot go silent for like a
Mm-hmm.
month.
Exactly. And I couldn't
That
talk
cannot
about it, so I
happen.
couldn't like post
Yeah,
content
sorry,
about it
I'm reading a
because
book.
it's a secret. So that was, I think, the
Yeah.
biggest challenge, and that was probably what was the hardest part of writing a book, is actually to just have time for something else other than the book, which is content creation
Yes.
and also releasing patterns.
Pattern. Yeah, you need to keep
Because
posting
I
patterns
used to
because
post.
that's your core
Mm-hmm.
business. That's how you make
I
money.
used to post, I think, one pattern a month before the book, so I wanted to try and stick to that. I
Yes.
think I managed, but it was a lot of work all at once. Um,
Yes.
I
Mm.
recorded some like behind the scene videos that I still have in my phone, like just talking, saying, what you're seeing is this pattern, but what I'm actually working on is like 5 other patterns. And yeah,
That thing, yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna post those
That's
videos
fun.
because
I think you should. Like, people love seeing stuff you never showed before, you
yeah,
know?
I feel like it's I feel it's weird now, but probably people would probably enjoy that. Yeah.
I feel on TikTok people will love
Oh,
that.
and I need to post on TikTok, so
Oh, yeah. We all need to post on TikTok.
yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
basically there were
gosh.
3 deadlines, um, and I didn't like decide on any order that I wanted to like make the patterns. I basically just made a list of animals that I would have liked to make. At first, we talked about
Mm-hmm.
25 patterns, I believe. It ended up being 20 animals, but like when you switch the bodies and everything, you can do like
Yes,
a
you can
hundred
switch your body.
different projects.
That I think is also super cool about your book. The combination, like you created this body that is laying down, and I thought that was so genius, is the way you made the little leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was super cool. You could pick and choose which animal, which position you wanted him. I think
Yeah,
that's
I think it's
great.
really fun, and also for me, seeing other people's creation now, because I haven't made 100 plushies from the book yet. So
Yes, it's a lot.
I didn't have time for that, and still today I would still be working on the on the projects if I were to
On the
make
book.
100. So sometimes I'm seeing like an animal from the book made by someone else in a different body than what I
Yeah,
did. So
that's so fun.
that's really fun for me to see.
Yes.
And yeah.
I think giving people option is always great. They buy a book, but they can be surprised with time. You know, I think that's a
Yes,
great
that's something
idea.
that I wanted to include, and I'm so grateful they said yes, because a lot of patterns book, you only have patterns basically in it, and I
Yes,
really wanted to include a lot of my knowledge that I gained over the years.
over
Um,
yeah,
I wanted to make that book to be the book I would have liked 8 years ago, 10 years ago when I first started.
yes, with everything you need to
Yes, all
know.
the little tips,
Yeah.
all the little tricks, and also how to be. So that's probably my favorite chapter in the book, is be creative. It's how it's called, and I really like this chapter just because, yeah, it's giving a little more options for people to be creative, and I think that's something really important when
Yeah.
we're creating little critters like this, just to add your own touch, not to modify the pattern and then make your own.
Yes.
Just when you create, I don't know,
Yes.
then when you're done, you're even, yeah, more proud. Can we say prouder? No, more
Yeah.
proud. I don't know.
More proud? Yes. I think I don't know. Don't ask me question about. I'm really not the
So
person to
yeah.
ask. But you can make yourself more proud. You're right. And I really felt when I read the book, I was telling my husband, because we were having coffee and I was reading the book, and I said it's crazy how you you gave so much knowledge, and I've learned things just like reading the books. And I think that's so good. Someone can buy the book, never crochet before, and actually end up crocheting
That would be
something. Like,
amazing.
I think that's amazing. Yeah. And I think is what I mean, we don't think about it because we've been crocheting for a while, but I remember when I started, I would love to have the one
Mm-hmm.
tool to manage and learn everything instead of, you go on YouTube for this technique, you go somewhere for the other, and having a book that have everything, I think is such a plus when you
Mm-hmm.
start.
Well, thank you for saying this. But
Of
yeah, no,
course.
I was really
No,
really happy
I really, I
they
really
said
mean it.
yes for this idea, and also yeah, at the end of the book you have the be creative section where you find other ideas if you want to just
Yeah.
change it up a little bit and make it yours.
Yeah. And I feel it can be a challenge also because writing pattern is something you know how to do, but like sometimes explaining techniques that you know since
Mm,
forever, was it a technique to put it on the paper? Like to
yeah,
explain? Explain techniques and stuff like that. I feel it could be
I
challenging,
think
right?
I've been doing that for a long time already, so it's not that hard for me. Or maybe I have
Okay.
this in me of being able to go back to when I started and what was my
Explain.
challenges at this time. And also I'm still learning,
Yeah.
and things that are in the book now 10 years from now might not work or might be like
Yeah.
not the best anymore. I'm not saying it's the best, but not the most popular or anything. um
Yeah.
but I remember when I first started amigurumis, what was hard, how to sew and how
Yeah.
to make it cuter, how to add personality to your all that. So I think that was
Yeah.
not really hard for me, or at least I've been doing
It
that for a
was
long time,
natural
trying
for
to
you.
explain.
Mm.
Also have crochet classes on my Etsy that's been available for a long time, and I've been giving little crochet classes in person probably 8 years ago. So I guess that was
So you are used to explain to people step by step. That's a skill because I feel not everybody is capable of explaining
I
their knowledge. You can know how to do something, but it's a different skill to know how
I
to
probably
explain it.
learned still, like improve my teaching skills because I've been talking about
Yeah.
that for so long. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's why I didn't think about that. That's a good question.
Well, you did very good in the book. So after the you say you have 3 times that you had to show something to your publishing company. What was after the third time? What happened? Did everything got approved or?
Yeah, sometimes they had questions for me, but like more technical questions, or why is this part before this part, and sometimes you had to explain because they're not like crocheters, and they so it's
Yes.
like, no, you have to put the arms before the body because the arms are no sew, and yeah, just
Yeah.
things like this. Where we spent a little bit more time is about pictures. I was not happy with the
Mm-hmm.
quality of pictures I was able to take on my own with the animals, like in my house, with the light I
Yeah.
had, or just with the little setup I had. And this is something that they
Yeah.
offered right off the bat, saying that they could, like, I could ship my toys over there and they could schedule like a full day of shooting. So after trying on my own, I
Oh,
was not
okay.
happy with them. So I asked them again, is it still something possible that I could? So that took a few weeks, I want to say, because yes, I can ship, and also I included like uh, crochet hooks, yarn, needles,
Yeah, to
because they
make
don't
it
have
more.
that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make like something uh, yes, unique, but just a little different. I really wanted them to be like in the scene. I don't know how to say that. Like they're not just
Yeah.
like on a
Like
white
a
background
professional
or
picture.
floating in the air.
Yeah. Yes, they look so cute.
Yeah, so they took that picture.
It looks like a school picture.
I really like this one. It looks like a class. I don't know how you say it in English.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, a classroom
exactly.
picture. And I understand why it could be like a challenge to take the best picture, because when it's for your pattern and stuff, but when it's for a book, it has to be another level of professional, I think. So I think that's good they offered, this
Yes,
service.
and I wasn't sure how many animals should be like on the cover, because usually you see, I don't know, 5, 6, 3 animals. But sometimes when you buy online, especially, you just see the cover. So you don't see what's in it.
Yes, you don't go
And I was like, maybe someone wants to do the fox and not the giraffe, but they only see the giraffe on the book. So I think they took a few pictures and we weren't sure about, I think another cover featured maybe 5 animals. And in the end, we all agreed on that cover picture, and I'm really happy because they're all there. So at least you know the animals that are in the book. They're all on the cover. And then they also took.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
They also took the
them all.
chapter pictures, so the chapter opener. Same thing. So I sent all these little props there, like the little cubes and all that. So I had all that in my house. I bought it all for the book. It's mostly because of the lighting, and you kind of like for 20, even if they're small, like this is Guillaume. Even if they're small, it's 20 of them. So in my office, I didn't have that.
Yeah, you need to have like
and I don't have like special lighting or anything like that for like pictures. I usually just take one at a time, and I can use my my yarn wall behind, but it's different for a book.
Yeah, but the 20 of them is so many. Yeah, I think that's a great idea to have them all. Like it creates I don't know, I would say a mass effect, and you're like, wow, there are so many things in that book.
Yes.
That was a good idea.
And other than that, all the pictures, like when you see my hands, this is all me in my office. That was pretty easy, just with a white background. But yeah, so this was after the last deadline. I shipped all my plushies, and they took the pictures.
When was it?
About a year ago already. So it was, I think I had
Okay.
7 or 8 months to do all the content of the book. So from January or February until
it's still
August
a lot of work
of last year.
Okay. Were you happy when you sent everything for the picture? Like, did you feel
yes and no, because I was really stressing about the pictures. I also asked them, can we FaceTime? Can we FaceTime the day of the shoot so I can say
I understand.
Something? Because I was so scared of.
Can you move
exactly? Well, I was scared of like them working a full day and then sending me pictures of what they did and like.
And you didn't like it.
So I was really scared about that, and they said we cannot FaceTime, but there's someone on the shoot that can send you like in real time the pictures they're taking. So that's what we did. Yes. So I was just receiving like little text messages with a picture, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cute!" Or this one is crooked.
Is crooked, and you see this kind of stuff because you've been taking so many pictures of your work. You can notice this. Yeah, I
know
understand
how
it can be challenging.
So probably it was annoying to them, but I had to.
No, I mean, it's as you say, it's your name on the book, and I think that's really important. Just sometimes my husband has to take videos, of me crocheting or whatever, and I'm so unsatisfied of the result. So when you're used to work by yourself, it's really hard to trust someone with a creative side, I feel.
And I don't think I said that anywhere else before, but they, like in those 8-9 months, they sent me a cover picture draft, whatever, how you want to call it, before the photo shoot.
Yep.
And I really hated it. Like, really, it was
Really,
not
that
me.
was not
That's
you?
it. It's not that it was like ugly or anything. It was just not me. Not my colors, not my style,
What you expected
not what I
for,
was envisioning for my book. So this is why probably I was stressed about the pictures, because I was like, if this is what they see about me, then I'm scared for what they're gonna shoot. So I didn't want to say I don't like it again after the.
You still have to be diplomatic, but still very clear, which is, it's a manager kind of skills, I feel, like try to be nice, but be like, no.
I don't know how to say it, but no.
Just try again.
And sometimes I was feeling bad, because they were not like.
But I think,
I don't know how to say it. They were not like giving me options. Let's say option 1, option 2, option 3, and then which one do you prefer? It was just, this one. This is what we, and they were happy, and I was like, ooh, we have a problem.
Oh, wow. So how did you manage to finally send all your work and
stuff? Sorry, can you ask again?
Yeah, sorry. I realized it was not very clear. But how did you manage to be like, hey, listen, we just gonna do something else? That's how I think we should do it. Like, did you just say it clearly?
I should probably reread my emails, because I'm not sure now. But I think it was pretty clear that I was unhappy with what we had at this point. But I remember sending a lot of like inspiration, like pictures of books I liked, or of like patterns I liked, or the style of pictures I was sharing on my social media, for example, or in my patterns. And also like I was, I don't know, I said, I think I'm gonna be just a little bit more precise. I don't like, I don't want to see like green or yellow or like flash colors on the cover, things like that. But if they if I say, I don't say it, how can they know? So if this,
yes. And maybe they were expecting a feedback from you anyway, because if they sent it to you, they wanted your opinion, So, I mean, people are expected that sometimes you give feedback.
No, I think you're right. It's just, I'm not used to that, because like we said earlier, when you work on your own, I don't have to talk about, talk with myself about what I don't like. Talk to myself.
And when it's your husband that helps, you can just like say no.
Exactly, but when you're working with a team, it's different. So that was a challenge,
But it's such a skill that I feel will be useful for your life in general. Like it's such, because we are not used to do that, and sometimes I feel when I have to talk to people that help me with my business and stuff, I feel I have to develop that, like this ability to talk to people, tell them what you want and stuff. So I think that's a good skill to know.
No, I think you're right. And sometimes it's really hard to put words into what you're thinking and just really explain. It might be really clear for you, but clearly it's not it's not so obvious for them.
So were you happy of the final pictures they took that day? It was probably a big stress relief when everything was done, right?
They were sending me like final pictures. This is what we're gonna send to the printer. And also we're talking about a lot about pictures and like the cover and everything, but even the pages like with the patterns, at first it was really different when what they sent me, and it was just a little too busy for me. I wanted the pattern pages to be as clear as possible, because when you're a crocheter and you're following a pattern, you don't want all like little things here and there. No. You just want the words and the pattern.
one
Yes,
or two
exactly. So
pictures.
that
Yes,
was
yeah.
also something that we needed to work on. Like from what they sent the first time was just a little too busy for what I wanted. But yes, when the pictures were all done, and then they said we're gonna send that to the printer to print, I was relieved.
Yeah. Relief that is getting together. Like, I think you can have this feeling of, okay, we are going somewhere. Like,
And it was
this is
still a long
happening,
time
you
to
know.
go because I believe that was probably in November of last year, 2023, and
Mm-hmm.
the book only released in June of this year. So it was a long time
Yes.
before I could actually see the real book.
And I have a question. Did you have people
That's another
testing the
thing.
patterns?
So they have what we call proofreaders. So proofreaders are basically,
Okay.
they're not crocheting the toys, but from what I understood, they are making sure all the stitch count is right. So from one row to the other, making sure
Okay.
that you have enough stitches, that it's all written the same way. If I'm saying
Yeah.
sew the head onto the body, it's not sew the body to the head somewhere else. So things like this.
Oh, that everything.
Um,
Yeah, makes sense.
but
Okay.
I was surprised to know that no, there's no actual crocheter who tested it before it was
Oh my god.
printed. So what I
Okay.
did is when they told me it was sent, then I got a little scared because of that. I had the digital
Yes.
book like available to me, so I just reached out to, I think, 3 friends of mine in Quebec that are crocheters, and I told them, can I send you the book and can you
Okay.
pick whatever animal you want to do and whatever body you want to do, because if there's a mistake, at least I will know, and we can put a little note in the book saying this body is, or this. So that's what I did. So for
Okay.
the 6 months that we were waiting, basically, we're making a few animals, and I also did more in the meantime, and we didn't spot anything major. Yeah, so
Yeah, yourself.
I think I
Mm.
spot like one word
That's
missing a
good.
letter or something
Yeah.
like that, but a typo. Nothing major like a stitch count or the wrong color somewhere.
Yeah, some things that
It might
completely
come. It
mess
might
up
come.
the
I'm not saying the
result.
book is perfect,
Yeah.
but so far so good.
Yes, but and that's why also you said like the reviews were important for you, because that's how sometimes, oh, there is a mistake or something. So I understand why you were a little bit
Yeah,
stressed
hopefully
about
if
that too.
someone spot a mistake or something, they will reach out to me instead of like leaving a bad review. So please do it. If you're
Yes,
watching this
yes.
and you find a mistake in my book, please reach out to me.
Yeah. But I feel people always understand it can happen. Even, on
Mm-hmm.
Etsy, some people say, hey, here I'm missing a count or something. People are
Yes.
usually
And
nice
I
about
believe
it.
that, oh, I lost my idea. Hold on. We're talking about reviews. Oh no, I lost my ideas.
Yes. And people will let you know in person.
Blank. Oh, that was, it will
They
come back.
come back.
Oh yeah, one thing I wanted people to know also about a book is that I don't have control over it anymore, basically. So I received some messages on my
Yes.
social media saying I ordered the book this day, it's not shipped yet, or
Oh, yes. Like they
kind
think
of.
you shipped it
So I'm
from
like,
your
yeah,
house.
but it's not me, and I actually don't even see the orders, so I don't know how
Yeah.
many I sold. I can ask them, probably they will know, but as of now, like I don't have a
Yes.
day-to-day count of how many I sold, or so I really have no power.
Yeah, you don't have control about the
Yes, so
business
same thing,
side
if
of
there's a
it.
mistake, they
Yeah.
can reach out to me and then I'm gonna say it to the publisher. But we have like I think 5,000 like copies right now, and then it's gonna be the next batch if there's a mistake or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
authors really don't have any control over the stocks. Yes,
No, the
even
logistic of it. Yeah. Or the
I didn't.
price. Like,
No, I didn't decide
that's not
it.
you
I
who
think they
decide,
based
right?
it like off of other books and how many patterns and what's in it and
The
the
market,
format,
yeah.
because this is a pretty big book. I know sometimes they're a smaller or more pages. But yeah, so I didn't decide the price. I don't decide where it's available. I don't know if it's gonna be available in like bookstores one day or like at Michael's or Joann's. Fingers crossed. Probably not in Quebec because it's not in French, and in
Yes.
Quebec we speak French mostly. Same for translations. After the release, I think 2 other publishers reached out to my publisher saying they wanted to translate it. So it will be in French and German in
Okay.
2025.
Woo!
But yeah, once again, I don't have any
That's
control
cool.
over that.
Yeah.
And even like the rights are to the publisher right now. So
Yeah, so they
pretty
decide
much,
of
yeah.
everything else. I think that's cool. It's gonna be available in
Mostly in
France
France
too, you
because
think?
it's gonna be
Oh,
translated
that's so
from a
cool.
publisher in France. I'm not even sure. I think we're checking that. I'm not even sure if it's gonna be like on Amazon, like Canada. It's really for like Europe. Europe.
Oh, okay.
Europe. L'Europe.
Oh, that's cool.
L'Europe.
L'Europe. Yeah, because next time we do the
I'm
podcast in
ready.
French,
It's gonna be
we
easier.
say it. Yeah.
But yeah, so just so
Oh
people
gosh,
know,
yes.
maybe because we don't
Well, I
always
think
know.
that's
But
cool.
yeah, I don't have any stock in my house. I don't do the shipping. I'm not in charge of that.
Yeah, which fortunately you believe how much work that will be to send each copy
And I
to
wouldn't
everyone
offer
and stuff.
worldwide shipping probably. So it's good now. So if someone wants the
Yes,
book
yes.
and is
Yeah, I
like
think that's
far
good.
away from me, it's not a problem. You can find it on your Amazon. It's there.
Yeah. Well, I will put the links anyway in the description for people that wants to buy it. And so you say
Yes, but I
mainly
think
on
it's on
Amazon, right?
how does it go? Goodreads, Barnes and Nobles, some local stores. Someone told me that they saw
Okay.
it at their library in the US. So I was like, yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
cool. At their
so she actually
library
borrowed it,
already?
and then she liked
Wow.
it, so she bought it. Yeah, someone said
Yeah.
that in a group. So you can find
That's
it in the
cool.
wild, but it's also
Wow.
online.
Well, thank you. And so after everything, how do you feel? Like, do you feel you say you can breathe again? Are you proud
Yes,
of that much
I'm really
work it
proud,
was?
and I'm really happy with the result. I'm really happy about everything that is included. I'm just looking at it now. Basically, I like every
Yeah.
every page. So yes, I'm really proud, and
Okay.
I'm not ashamed of saying it. It was a lot of work, and I'm proud that it's now available to everyone.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know if it's a project or like a journey that I'm gonna do again. I don't know yet. What I would like to do is a bestseller book or Mama Patterns book, but I would
Yes.
need to find a
That would be
publisher that
nice.
accept
Yeah.
to include more existing patterns or not to be exclusive. And I don't know if that's something possible, or I
Oh,
would have to
yes.
how
Mm.
do you say that? Like do your own publishing. Yes, thank you.
Oh, yes, like
So
self-publish a
that would
book.
be something that I could do,
Mm.
but it's a lot of time and a lot of work. But I'm just really happy that it's done now, and
Yeah, any stuff you don't
I
know.
have my book, and
Yeah.
it's here. Yes.
I just have a last question about the book, and then we will talk about the promotion side. My question is that usually I follow you since a long time, and you use a lot of plush yarn. Usually, like your Octomama or plush yarn. I'm curious, what did you use acrylic yarn
For
for
a
this
few
book?
reasons. The first reason I believe was to make it more accessible for everyone. Some people in the world don't have plush yarn or haven't tried plush yarn yet, so I just wanted to show them in regular yarn, and I had in mind to just promote it as a book that you can use any kind of yarn with. I wish I could have include like a few pages about different yarn. Well, I did one page is about yarn type, but like with pictures of the other yarns that I like to use and the size of the eyes that would match this yarn. But there are so many brands,
what you need
that
to
are
change.
similar, and I didn't want to include just one. So if I was starting to talk about that, it was probably 5 pages of just talking about yarn. So I decided to just go with the regular yarn, and then on my social media I can talk about plush yarn or jumbo yarn or even DK yarn. And also for the size, I knew that I had to take pictures of these plushies.
Yeah, because if you had to take a picture of all of them in plush yarn, you will need
in my opinion, I like the look of the pictures in regular yarn more than in plush yarn. I just find it more like the stitches are more defined. So that was the two main reasons, and also because I had a lot of colors in stock that I needed to use, and sometimes in
yes.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
It's also cheaper
and also
in
yes,
price,
I
like
had
to
more
buy
colors
acrylic yarn.
at this time than in plush yarn, so it was easier for me to use different colors for the book. But this is basically what I did. Was it a few days after the release of the book? I published on my Instagram and Facebook I don't know, I called it a guide. So with suggestions of yarn and eyes size and all of that, so they can look at that if they want to do it in plush yarn. But if you're watching this now and you're not sure if you can do it in another yarn, yes you can. Just make sure that you're using the right crochet hook size.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. That's a thing a lot of people don't know, but when you see like creation with acrylic yarn, you can make in plush yarn and vice versa.
Still,
a lot of people don't know.
I believe it's still new to some people. And that's probably why I wanted to include the regular yarn versus the plush yarn, because like I said, some people never use plush yarn, and I didn't want them to not buy the book because of that, like not knowing that they could do it in regular yarn.
Yes, it can be very restricting. Yeah. You know, in France, people don't use plush yarn. For example, when I started crocheting, I was crocheting with cotton or acrylic. I really discovered the world of plush yarn when I arrived in the US.
New. Probably 2 or 3 years ago, when during COVID, I believe, when really popular. But in some areas, it's still new. So, and also I think with time, if ever plush yarn is not as popular, let's say in 5 years, there's another. I feel like really regular worsted weight yarn will always be there.
Yes. It's good to have something that lasts in time and just not follow a trend. I think that's a very good idea. So for the promotion of your book, did you have a specific, because it's important to promote the book, right? Do you think it's a big part of
you've
the
been working
sales?
on that. I'm sorry. You've been working on that project for so long, and I feel like if you fail to promote it, it's like you've been working all this time for not for no reason, but you want the world to know about it. Yes, and if you're not talking about it, how people will know about it. So it's just like when you release a regular pattern, but times 20. So you really want to make it big.
Yeah. The strikes are way higher. Yeah. And did you have a specific plan that you discussed with your edition company, or you
They really
just said,
trusted me
okay,
on
that's what
that.
I'm gonna
They
do?
said that I was doing a good job at it. so
Mm.
so they really trusted me on that.
Yes.
If you're starting to know me a little bit better, no, I didn't have any plans. Yes, like I always
Just
do.
came with the flow.
But for real, no. I just wanted that first reel to be a little bit more. And then the only other thing I had in
Yes.
mind is that I didn't want to release a pattern around the release date, the publishing day. So basically, I didn't release any pattern in June because I was really trying to focus on the book, just to let it shine. And that was the only thing that I had in mind.
Yes.
And also
And
now
enjoy.
making not all the animals, but I'm trying to make all the animals in plush yarn so people can see them. So I'm
Yes, that was a
still
great
working on
idea.
that because I
Yeah.
still have like 15 to make, I think. I've done 5, but then I moved, so I took a little break. But yeah, so no
It was a lot.
plans. Unfortunately, I cannot help anyone about that. I'm just going with the flow, yes, and trying to talk about it, but also not just to talk about that. I know that on social media, sometimes we think that when you post one time, everyone saw it. It's not like this, so you have to talk a little bit more about it. But you don't want to
No.
be annoying either.
Yes.
So I don't want to talk about that all the time on my social
Yeah.
media. I have other things to offer. Um, yes, exactly. So that
Yeah,
was
to balance
something
it
that I
out a
wanted to
little
keep in
bit.
mind. So yeah, it's just not releasing any other patterns at the same time, and yeah, just being proud. And I'm gonna try and post soon about like the highlights, I believe, in this book that make it different. I talked a lot in, like, I did exclusive live for everyone who pre-ordered the book, so I talked about that there. Also in podcasts like this, but I haven't made like a post with some pages in the book. So if people didn't see that, look, yes, these videos, I should make
Explaining,
posts about
yes.
that. But that's really fun.
Yeah, because I think it's something you should highlight for sure, because he really, I received a lot of crochet book, and I think he makes it, the patterns are something, but the, like, all the explanation and all the, oh, if you are a beginner you can make it happen, I think it's really important for people to know. And
Yes,
it can be a
and just like any
plus, I
other
feel.
patterns, it's not expiring, so I can talk about it once in a while just to remind people. Sometimes people like see the
Yes.
book, but they don't have the money at that time, and then they forget about it. So just a reminder, I'm here.
Yeah. And there are people learning how to
And
crochet
still
every day, so
discovering us every
that's
day,
infinite.
so we have to talk about it once in a while. So I
Yeah.
think it was important to have a good, from what I understand from the publisher, the pre-orders were pretty important to like rank somewhere at the top on Amazon so we can be found.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So
Wow.
I
Congratulations.
I talked a little bit more during pre-orders, and I'm just gonna keep talking about it once in a while now.
I have a question. What are pre-orders are for? Are they to see how many copies are gonna be
Mm,
published or stuff like that?
I
Like to have
actually
an
don't
idea how
have
many have to be
the
printed?
answer for that. I didn't ask them. I
Oh,
know that
okay.
everyone is pretty much doing pre-orders. Like you said, maybe it's to just have enough stock, maybe. So they know, okay, in the US we have I don't know,
Yeah.
200
Yeah.
copies that we have to make sure we have. That may be the case. Why? And also, yeah, maybe to just give them an idea on how the sales will go looking forward. Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe to start making money right away. I don't know.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Yeah, maybe they need money in order to print as many
Yes,
copies.
or
Like,
maybe,
I don't know.
yeah, we
Maybe I
have
will
to
Google
ask
it.
another author.
I may
Maybe
get
Amy
an
knows
answer.
it, or any other. I think you had Lee
Yeah,
on
I
the
should have
podcast
asked.
too. Did you?
Yeah, because her book is on pre-order
Did you
right
receive Lee on the podcast?
now. Sorry?
She has a lot of books as well.
That was a crazy story. We had an episode, and because it was like my second or third episode,
no!
we lost it because of a
Oh,
connection.
that's why I had that in my mind.
It was a problem of, and we unfortunately we never recorded again, and we lost the whole episode. That's the joy of.
No, okay, that's why I had that in my mind.
But we talked about that, but we didn't talk about the pre-order, so I don't know. But yeah, I may ask me about that because
exactly.
our book is on pre-order right now.
You know, what are pre-orders for? Just for
someone
friends.
is asking. Well, Jade, thank you so much for being so. That's really what I wanted out of this episode, to really learn about making a book, and I feel a lot of people are really interested by that because, as we say, we always see the book, but we never really know the process. So thank you so much for being very honest with it, as usual, and very genuine. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I don't think so. Maybe someone is wanting to write their book. It is possible. It's a lot of work, but it's possible. And maybe just to find a team that like you make sure from the start that you will get along with, or that you you vibe that you vibe with them. Just
people, I feel,
yes, because you're gonna be working a lot with them, so you want to make sure that you find a good team to work with you and that will understand what you want, because it's your name on that book.
Yeah. And to stick to who you are, I feel it's important to,
and that you will be
proud.
That
look like you.
There's no skipping any steps. You just have to make sure that everything you're happy with, and if you're not happy with, change it. Yes.
Say it. As everything in life, say it. Well, thank you so much, Jade. Thank you for sending me a copy. I'm so happy. When I received it, I felt it was Christmas. I was like, oh my God. Because the fact we talk about it in the podcast, I felt so proud for you. I was like, oh, I'm so happy it happened. So thank you for sending me a copy. I will put the link in the description for everyone that wants to get it.
Thank you for having me again.
It
was so much fun. Thank you, Mathilde.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to this new episode of the Crochet Podcast. All the links are in the description to follow Jade on social media and to order her book. Thank you for watching. I see you very soon. Please take care. Bye-bye.